Hello and welcome. My name is Lauren. I'm going to be discussing my PowerPoint presentation of an in-depth look and interpretation of Shrek's natal chart. Please hold any questions until the end. Thank you. In this presentation, we will go into depth and discuss the inner workings of Shrek's celestial identity and how the planet and stars were aligned at the time of his birth, his approximate time of birth. Shrek's birth identity has remained a mystery for many years, but I have done the necessary research to fill in the blanks of Shrek's early life by means of deductive reasoning and investigative work. You're welcome. When is Shrek's birthday? According to Shrek the Musical, in the original literature, Shrek was cast out by his parents, unnamed, on his 7th birthday. At the same time, 7-year-old Fiona was banished by her parents to her tower. It was stated in Shrek the Musical that the date Fiona was banished was December 24th, Christmas Eve, thus making Shrek's birthday December 24th, Christmas Eve. Below we have photos of Shrek as a child, Fiona's tower, and Shrek's neglectful, spiteful parents. What year was Shrek born? In Shrek the Musical, Princess Fiona sings the song I Know It's Today, stating that she's made it to day 8,423 of her imprisonment on the day that she is rescued. 8,423 divided by 365 days of the year is 23, making it approximately 23 years that Fiona has been in the tower, and if she was banished at 7 years old, she is at least 30 at the release of the film in 2001. I will pause here to state that I did have a rebuttal that the time period of Shrek would most likely be in the medieval ages, and my counter argument is the musical and song references that they make at the end of Shrek 1, which is in the stylings of the Monkees, Culture Club, and the Bee Gees, would imply that Shrek is in the present timeline. So there's that. This means that Princess Fiona and respectively Shrek would be born in 1971. And if we are going with my theory, my bulletproof theory, that this is modern day, this year Shrek will be turning 49. So Shrek's birthday is coming up, so get ready. What time was Shrek born? We know that our natal charts can change rapidly depending on the time of birth, and we can only assume due to the scenery at the time of Shrek's emancipation and Fiona's imprisonment, if this was done to the exact hour or close thereof to Shrek's birth, it would probably be somewhere around 6 p.m. So we have, I think, about a 2-hour window here where this could be 4 p.m., it could be 8 p.m. We're still right in the window here for some of our natal aspects. And this is deduced due to the shortened hours of light in the winter. It was dark outside when these things happened. It was December 24th. I'm assuming it was probably closer to 6 p.m. And the aforementioned scenes are presented at night. So, what do we do now? Shrek's date and time of birth is approximately December 24th, 1971, but where? Well, buckle up, peeps, because I really did some digging here. Shrek lives outside of Duloc, on a planet called Aurinian, okay? So if we are going to put Aurinian in an aspect to Earth, this is where I've presented Shrek's geographical location. Duloc does not have an exact location, but I've narrowed it down to a region for the purpose of finding out Shrek's natal chart information. I did some digging, and since Lord Farquaad is the, Lord of Duloc, and that is his hometown, as we have been made aware. His full name is Lord Markelas Maximus Bogofsky Furdo Farquaad. I did find that on his Wikipedia page. I do not have a source for that, but if I find it, I will link it. Using the surname Bogofsky, I have found that there are approximately 28 families that have this surname, and they are all from Estonia. So then I looked up where the most prevalent castles in Estonia are, and I have found that there is a region called Tallinn, which looks enough like Duloc, as the photos below present. The two first are real-life photos, and of course the third one with Lord Farquaad's face is the one from the movie, in case there was any confusion. December 24th, 1971, 6 p.m., Tallinn, Estonia. Now we have all the information necessary to get Shrek's natal chart. Shrek's sun sign. This is the juicy part. This is Shrek's being. This is Shrek's zodiac sign. When you say to Shrek, what is your sign? He's going to say Capricorn. His sun sign represents his outward personality. Shrek is confirmed a Capricorn. This is canon. No matter what, Shrek is a Capricorn. Capricorns are known for being fundamentally responsible, serious, efficient, and rational. This is seen in his innate need to take care of those around him, form plans, and critically think during princess rescuing situations. Capricorns also tend to be emotionally reserved. This shines through in Shrek's inability to accept that Fiona would ever love him, and is exceptionally obvious in the way that Shrek would prefer to always be alone. Below are some photos of Shrek being alone. Shrek's ascendant sign. He's a Cancer. The ascendant marks the outward image he projects to people. Shrek's ascendant is in Cancer, meaning he comes across as gentle, intuitive, and warm, which makes absolutely no sense. But this does change every 2 hours, and I'm just guessing his time of birth, so I could be wrong. But on the inside, Shrek is gentle and warm, so maybe I'm right. Here's a photo of Shrek taking care of a child for reference. Shrek's moon sign. Shrek's moon sign is Pisces. His emotional and inner self is empathetic, dreamy, sensitive, and gentle. He feels vulnerable much of the time and desperately wishes for a partner who deeply understands him. This is very evident in the first movie, where he yearns for the touch of a woman who shares his emotional intimacy. And seen below, Shrek being intimate with Princess Fiona. Shrek's Mercury was in Sagittarius, in his 6th house. Mercury rules communication, cognitive abilities, and speech. It is the planet of the mind. Mercury was in Sagittarius when Shrek was born, meaning that he's independent and he's curious. He's a big picture thinker, he doesn't really care about details, and he has tons of sarcasm. This shows through especially in his quick wit and his ability and want to help others, and tend, to others' emotional well-being, like especially Donkey, because even though he hurts Donkey's feelings, he truly does not want him to be sad. Shrek's Venus was in Aquarius. Venus determines one's love language and how one expresses affection, or Shreksuality. See what I did there? Shrek's romantic side is unconventional. For example, his frog balloon in the first movie, intellectual and somewhat detached. Example, Shrek does not express his emotion well. This means one can express intimacy and romance in less traditional ways, and since it's in his 7th house, it represents that he really deeply values close partnerships and close relationships. Here's Shrek with his wife, Princess Fiona. Shrek's Mars was in Pisces, in his 10th house. Mars is the planet of aggression, and Shrek has plenty of aggression. This is expressed in one's Shreksuality, see what I did there again? Ambition and anger. Since Shrek's Mars was in Pisces, it means he deals with aggression in an emotional way. He puts a lot of energy into his goals and responsibilities. This is proven due to how he let the freeloading fairy tale animals move into his home, and how aggressive Shrek could be by nature. And here's a photo of Shrek being sexy, Shrek being aggressive, and one of the aforementioned animals moving into his house and not paying rent. Shrek's Jupiter was in Sagittarius. Jupiter rules idealism, optimism, and expansion. His Jupiter is in Sagittarius, meaning he grows and finds understanding through questioning, curiosity, independence, and debate. Example, Shrek belittling and yelling at the fairy tale characters in the beginning and making them sad. It's in his 6th house, meaning that he finds success through routines, as evident in his mud and bath and outhouse ritual, and his surprisingly good oral hygiene habits, which you will see in the first movie, as photoed here. Shrek's Saturn was in Gemini. Gemini is in Shrek's 11th house, meaning he has had difficulties with social status, including platonic and casual friends, along with his hopes, wishes, and dreams. This is apparent in Shrek's lack of friends, poverty status, and his apparent joblessness. I'm not trying to at Shrek, I'm just saying he is definitely more blue collar, but even like he doesn't even work. So he has no collar. And finally, Shrek's Pluto was in Libra, the fourth house. Libra only changes every once, 14 years. That's when it changes, every 14 years. So it represents a generation in its entirety, which I spelled not okay. It's in his fourth house, meaning he's personally transforming outdated structures of the home and family, which I stated in like the last 6 slides. In conclusion, we have learned that Shrek is challenging ogre ideals and shaping his race's stereotype. Shrek is an intellectual and truly gentle human being. Shrek is curious and introspective, and Shrek is empathetic and feels deeply for others, no matter how much he pretends he does not. Thank you so much for coming to my presentation. I hope that this was able to clear up any concerns that may have kept you up at night about Shrek's emotional composition, or, how the planets were aligned at the time of his birth, because I know it definitely stopped me from sleeping many nights. So thank you. Thank you so much.